Are you thinking about clearing a piece of property that's overgrown? Today I'm going to be going through the process that I've been using to clear this area out in this property in Tennessee for our solar array. All right, in the last video I went through the steps I used to determine where I wanted to put my solar array. Today I'm going to tell you how I went about starting to clear that, and eventually we're going to install those panels. All right, after I went through the process of figuring out where I wanted to locate the array generally on the property, I took the size of the panels, I multiplied it by how many panels I wanted, figured out the footprint of the actual array itself, and then added on a bunch of extra area around it for doing maintenance, for just general area, and I visually plotted that out in the woods here. This property had been logged about 15-20 years ago and then just sat, so everything has kind of grown up. Most of the brush and things around here are well over my head, 7-8 foot tall, and so I couldn't really get in there and mark where I wanted to be, but I visually benchmarked how big of an area I wanted to clear using trees as reference points. I then took the Sunseeker app, talked about that in the last video, and got an idea of what trees are actually going to be shading out the array, both today and then both on the summer solstice and the winter solstice, the highest and the lowest points of the sun here in Tennessee. Once I knew which trees were going to be shading it out, I kind of started formulating a plan of how to attack it, how to clear it out, and how to make it usable. All right, so I'm going to have quite a big array here. I think it's going to be about 50 foot long and probably 15-20 foot deep. So I had to clear a big area. I decided to break it down into some manageable chunks because I got a lot of understory to clear, a lot of trees to drop, and as I found out, as I cleared that understory, there was a lot of deadfall already on the ground that had to be cleaned up. So I made it manageable. I was able to go through this process I'm going to talk about and take care of each step one at a time and then start on the next section. All right, the first thing I had to do is get rid of all of this understory, this brush that's grown up. It's full of blackberries and brambles and thorns and saplings and just things anywhere from, a couple inches in diameter, just down to vines that wrap up way into the trees. Now, other projects on this property that I've cleared for smaller structures, for planting areas, for our food forest, I went at it with a machete. That understory, that worked. It took a long time. It was a lot of labor, got all cut up from the thorns. To this project, I actually had a recommendation from a friend for an attachment for a weed eater that is a blade that has chainsaw links around the outside. I tried that. That has worked great. I was able to knock down all of this stuff really quickly. I'll pop a video up here on the side that kind of shows the before and after of how that worked, and I'll get a link down in the video description about that. Next video I'm going to make, I'm actually going to be going through all the tools that I used to do this project, so definitely check that one out. All right, so after I knocked down all that understory, I was down to the trees in the section that I needed to cut down. Like I mentioned earlier, I found a lot of deadfall, a lot of whole trees, branches, and things in that understory. Cleaned them up first, chunked them up, and got those in piles and made way for dropping trees. So I had several larger trees, I guess not super big, they're really tall, but not really big in diameter, and then some smaller ones that I had to fell to get this area cleaned up to get out of the shade, get those panels out of the shade. I'm fortunate enough over the years, I've worked with a lot of people that taught me how to drop trees safely, and I went ahead and did that, dropped them and laid them down. One thing I wanted to do was make sure I didn't get them all like matchstick dropped, piled up, so I was very selective in which ones I did in what order. Get them on the ground, get them usable, and get accessible to process them and get them out of the way. All right, so once I got those trees on the ground, I limbed them up, piled up all that brush, and proceeded to run them all through the wood chipper here. I'll talk about this wood chipper a little bit in the next video, but basically salvaged from a friend, got her running again. It's been a great help. You can see the pile of wood chips I'm making over here. Ran all that brush through the wood chipper, and then it was on to the trunks of the trees. I bucked up those trees into usable sizes. I determined which trees I wanted to use for firewood for heating the cabin, what was kind of junk wood, what was rotten, what wasn't really burnable for heating purposes, save those for some other projects, and got them carried up to the top of the hill here. Let me see if I can get to figure this out backwards. Got them kind of separated out. I got a pile here, I got a pile over here, and those will be split and stacked and dried for heating purposes. So after the trunks and the brush was all taken care of, I had all these longer, thicker, too thick to go through the chipper, but not big enough to cut up and split. After that, I chunked these up into smaller sections, used a cart to carry them up the hill, and I'll use those, like I said, for some other projects. I'm working on some biochar and things like that. All right, once that's done, it's time to move on to the next section, repeat the process, drop down all that understory, drop the trees down, limb them up, get rid of that brush, chunk up the trunks, get rid of those bigger branches, and eventually it's all going to be done. I determined I had 3 sections to do to make it manageable. I'm done with 1 now. I'm working on the 2nd, and then we'll get that 3rd one cleared. After that, I'm going to have a buddy come over with a skid steer and smooth this out. Not necessarily take out the trunks or the stumps. I'm gonna just plan around those when I'm installing the post for the array. You might ask why I just didn't use equipment down here in the first place. I don't have any. I don't have a 4-wheeler, I don't have a tractor, I don't have a skid steer or anything like that, and it's not really in the budget to rent one or to use one all the time. So I use it selectively when it makes sense and I have somebody that can come out and help me out. So it's a lot of work, it's a lot of sweat, it's a lot of sore muscles, but eventually it'll be done. We'll get that solar field in, and we'll be starting to get that wired up and get power to the cabin. If you ever had to clear land like this, if you'd let me know down in the comments the kind of the process you used, if you have any questions or anything like that. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing a video next about all the tools that I use to clear this property. I'll have links down in the description for that weed eater head that works really well with this understory and a lot of other things actually. So check that out, and be sure to hit that like and subscribe and follow along as I document getting this solar array in, getting our rainwater catch system, our water, and all the off-grid systems that we're putting into this cabin we're building here in West Tennessee.